It's time for Waking Up with Wesley. Today's forecast and weather-wide discussion with WLOX First Alert Weather's senior meteorologist, Wesley Williams.
Waking Up with Wesley is sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.
All right, good morning, everyone. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams here with your Waking Up with Wesley edition for Monday morning. And believe it or not, some places are actually seeing some rain. So let's get right to a picture of this camera in Biloxi. Looking toward the east, looking toward Jackson County, toward Ocean Springs, where probably some rain in that area at this point in time. So that's going to be bit of a wet start to the day for some of you. We also have a camera in Jackson County. This is an MDOT traffic cam. Take a look at this view at Highway 57 and Highway 90, not too far from Gaucher. And you can see that there's definitely some wet weather in that part of South Mississippi. So that's what we're going to cover today, those increasing rain chances, as our pattern is going to be one that helps us to kind of stay on the wet side at times. Now, first alert for folks and viewers in Jackson County, you've actually been under a special weather statement. That thunderstorm in Jackson County is strong enough to produce heavy downpours, frequent lightning and gusty winds. And looks like the National Weather Service in recent minutes has also issued a new alert for southern Mobile County. And if I take a look, looks like that does not include Mobile proper, but areas just to the west of that, including Theodore, Alabama, and Tillman's Corner, Alabama. That one goes to 9:15. The one for Jackson County goes until 9 o'clock this morning, and that does include anywhere from Ocean Springs to Pascagoula, the entire southern half of the county, basically. Technically does not include Van Cleve, but just to the east of that, Hickory Hills, Gaucher, Gulf Park Estates, Gulf Hills, St. Martin, all those places could see some intensity to some of these thunderstorms. Here's what that thunderstorm looks like on first alert radar. You can see it's kind of broken up into two parts. One of the parts has moved into Mobile County. The other is just kind of lingering on the coast of Jackson County. So there's areas this morning, like we showed you, that's a look at Highway 90 from Ocean Springs to Gaucher. Certainly wet. You go to I-10, not quite as bad at this moment, but definitely seeing some downpours. And that's why we took a look at this camera that's located right here. We'll pop that one up for you one more time. And that's Highway 90 and 57. This is technically looking up to the north. So you're looking north up Highway 57 in Jackson County. And that's where the rain is coming down, right where I've circled on this map. Now, if there were some MDOT cams to the west of that, we'd take a look, but I don't think there are any to the west of that on Highway 90. No, that's the westmost Highway 90 camera in all of South Mississippi, believe it or not. You can't see anywhere on Highway 90 west of Ocean Springs, at least from MDOT. So, interesting stuff there. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest of the first alert radar. And we can see that Jackson County, that's pretty much where we're seeing the majority of this rain this morning. What I want to do is pop up the larger view of the radar to see where else there might be some rain. And right now, we don't really see a whole bunch of it elsewhere. It's mainly in southern Jackson County. There is another thunderstorm that has moved into areas near Picayune during the 8 o'clock hour Monday morning. We can zoom in the map to show you that thunderstorm entering Picayune. So if you are in Picayune, I know you're hearing some lightning or hearing some thunder, and it's about to, or it is beginning to rain in that area. I know years ago we used to have an MDOT camera in the Picayune area, and it's not there anymore. Oh well. But it would be nice if we still had that MDOT camera in the Picayune area to see what that rain looked like, but no cams in any part of Pearl River County, it seems, so we can't really see that from the MDOT traffic cam vantage point at least. So let's take a look at the more zoomed out picture of first alert radar. You're still seeing these showers and storms moving in from west to east, and this is going to be a trend that continues. But if we talk about why some of this is happening, you kind of have to zoom way out. And I'm going to turn off my banner here so that you can see, you can't miss it, that swirling low in the northern part of the country near Wisconsin. So that's an area of low pressure way up there. It's actually also an upper low as well. Remember, wind circulation around lows is counterclockwise. So that's why the winds are wrapping around that particular system like that. Where we are relative to that, we're on the eastern side of that. So that's helping to pull some moisture northward from the Gulf toward our coastline. That's why it feels very muggy today. And that moisture in the air makes it really easy for rain showers to develop. If you were on the western side of that low, the air is actually much drier. So even though we're on the moist side of things here, near the Gulf Coast region, areas in the plains are actually on the drier side. So that's where the drier air is coming down. And if you don't believe you don't have to take my word for it. We can take a look at the reported dew points across the nation, and you can see there is that area of deep moisture all across the Gulf Coast region, anywhere that is to the east of that, anywhere that is to the east of that low pressure circulation. That's where you're seeing some of that Gulf moisture just rolling up on the eastern side of it. Now, like I said, on the western side of it, the wind is actually coming in from the north and west, so that's why things are a bit drier along the eastern part of the country. I would imagine there's probably a stalled frontal boundary along to separate. You might be able to call it a cool front in a few spots, but eventually that front generally winds up stalling out or even turning into a dry line, once you get toward parts of Texas. I drew that backwards, sorry. It's hard to see on this small monitor screen there. But that's kind of the big picture and one of the driving forces of the weather pattern. Now, earlier today, I did take a look. Let's see if this still is here. No, that's an old map, excuse me. This is the one I took a look at to show you the kind of big features at play today. There is that low in the northern plains, but there's actually a couple of highs flanking it on the western and eastern side. And the important thing about understanding our weather today is understanding where the wind currents are coming in upstairs in the air. I just showed you what the winds were doing at the surface, but the winds upstairs in the air, the upper levels of the atmosphere, those are the winds that actually determine where weather systems are going, where clusters of storms are steered toward. These are kind of the steering currents which drive the weather makers in the atmosphere from place to place, from point A to B. And there is this kind of thunderstorm complex near Texas and Louisiana this morning. Where's it going to go? Well, if you look at and rely on the steering currents, it appears that that energy or some of those thunderstorms from that complex of storms in Texas, they're going to be steered toward the east and toward our neck of the woods in coastal Mississippi. So that's why the Storm Prediction Center is monitoring an area of possible severe weather in parts of the South today. This is a look at that map again, showing that complex of storms over Texas. Fortunately, the complex itself has kind of fallen apart. But even though the rain and the storms with that have fallen apart, the energy responsible for those storms has not dissipated, and it is moving eastward. And some of that energy might help new showers and storms to develop in South Mississippi today. So that's what we're going to talk about, the potential for severe weather in parts of the area today. Here's the Storm Prediction Center's map, and they are highlighting level 2 out of 5 on the Mississippi coast today. So what's that mean? Well, remember, a higher level means a higher probability of actually seeing damaging storms. So a 2 out of 5 is not a very high level. So it's kind of a low probability, but it's there. The potential for us to see some severe storms today at times. Right now, it looks like that potential might be maximized into the afternoon and the evening. We've already seen a strong storm this morning, though. And for folks, yesterday, in eastern Stone and western George County, y'all had a severe thunderstorm warning not too far from Bendale, Mississippi. So we could see another warning like that today, where some areas might get one of the thunderstorms to grow somewhat strong to severe. And these are kind of the potential hazards that we are watching from any severe weather today. The most likely impact would be flooding rain, as many of us could pick up to an inch of rain through today and tonight. And some spots could go to a 2-inch or higher total. But then there's also the risk of damaging straight line wind gusts that could top 50 or 60 miles per hour. And that could cause damage, maybe knocking down some tree branches or perhaps even a tree limb or two, which could lead to sporadic power outages. I'm happy to report that the risk of large hail the size of a quarter or bigger is very low, and the risk of tornado is also not really expected at this point in time. So that's at least two pieces of good news as we monitor the energy from that complex of storms moving east. That's what I've circled. I've circled the energy, which it doesn't always pop up showers and storms. But as we go through time into the afternoon, that area that's circled is going to fill in with showers and storms. Look at 1 p.m. You can see them already popping there, not too far from Lake Pontchartrain, Louisiana. And there they go, increasing in coverage. More people seeing more widespread rain coverage during the p.m. hours on Monday afternoon and on Monday evening in South Mississippi. This continues again from the afternoon to the evening. So it is totally a possibility for us to see that rain coverage increasing as we head later and later into our Monday. Now, if you like rain chances, here's a look at them this morning. They are relatively lower, about 30 or 40%. But then this afternoon, they are relatively higher because more places on the map could see more of those widespread showers and storms. You can see that coverage increasing for Monday afternoon. The rain chances, I've been very, very conservative with these rain chances. They could be higher than 50 or 60% based on this new information I'm seeing. Maybe some of the coverage gets into the 70 or 80% range. But I've been kind of skeptical about this, but just know that, again, that I'm seeing a deep green color there, and that's why that flooding rain risk for us is there at a medium today. I think we're going to see around an inch of rain at times this afternoon and this evening. So a good thing to have on a day like today, our WLOX weather app. If you haven't downloaded that, be sure to do that. That way you can stay up to date with the latest first alert radar. You can take a look at the future radar to see where the storms are going. And of course, get our hour-by-hour forecast. This particular hour-by-hour forecast is for Biloxi, which shows a 50% chance for rain heading into the afternoon. There have already been some rain showers there this morning, but again, that increase in coverage heading into later today. So wrapping it all up, this is your bottom line. Our morning, bringing some spotty to hit or miss thunderstorms. The rain coverage may increase as we head into the PM hours of Monday. And we're still monitoring that risk of strong to severe storms. Of course, if there are any warnings, be sure to tune into WLOX. Our first alert weather team will be here monitoring the latest. And just like during yesterday afternoon's warning, when meteorologist Taylor Graham broke into programming to alert you of the dangerous thunderstorm near East Stone in West George, that could happen again today. And if there is programming, then it is a possibility that our first alert weather team will interrupt programming, at least temporarily, to cover any of those urgent weather bulletins for dangerous thunderstorms and such. This pattern of daily thunderstorms does not appear to be going anywhere anytime quickly, so that will continue for the rest of this week, the next 5 to 7 days. You know, a day like today with that 50 to 60% chance, it doesn't mean it will rain everywhere, and it also means the places that it does rain, it's not going to last every hour of the day. You can get some breaks in the rain, and that's what I'm expecting as we look ahead to the Father's Day weekend time frame. I've got plans for Father's Day Sunday to spend time with my dad, and I'm not canceling them. And I don't recommend you cancel your plans either. Now, if you do have some outdoor activities scheduled, you do want to keep an eye on the weather. Some of the showers and storms could periodically pass through, perhaps mainly in the afternoon and evening. Just have a rain plan just in case. You know, I think My dad might not be watching this, so maybe I can spill the tea that we are planning to do a little grilling. I guess it was his idea. It's not a surprise. We're going to do a little grilling out on the backyard patio, and, rain could interrupt that. So I'm hoping that whatever showers do happen will miss out of where we are planning to celebrate. And an early happy Father's Day to all you dads out there and to all the fatherly figures in your lives. Well, that'll do it for us on this Monday edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. I hope that you have a great Monday. And by the way, if you manage it, maybe you can sneak in some time to scoot on over to Buc-ee's. I really love seeing all the excitement during Good Morning Mississippi. If you missed it, go check our WLOX Facebook page. There's great clips of what appears to be doorbuster deals, people breaking into a full speed run to head on into the first ever Buc-ee's opened in the entire state of Mississippi. And I'm glad that WLOX was able to share those first historic moments with all of our viewers here in coastal Mississippi. I'm already planning my list of things to get, whether it's fudge, whether it's a breakfast burrito, whether it's the beaver nuggets, or something else that maybe I haven't even thought of yet. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Can't forget the brisket either. So again, that'll do it for us this Monday. And we'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone.
Waking Up with Wesley has been sponsored by Exclusive Auto Brokers. For the best deals on wheels, visit Exclusive Auto Brokers on Beatline Road in Long Beach.